Well, look, as you know, Australia is facing unconscionable levels of debt. There are 4 ways you can address the problem. The first seems to be the most common: forget about it. Does debt matter? The second is you can raise taxes, but we're already taxed to the eyeballs. And it's not just the income tax and company tax. The Bowser is a tax office. Packet of cigarettes taxed, pint of beer taxed, GST. Ridiculously employ someone and you're taxed. One of the issues that has brought Boris Johnson unstuck is that the electorate thought he was a genuine Conservative, but he's presiding over the highest taxing British government in years. So that's the tax. Then you can cut expenditure. No government seems to have a stomach for that. Instead, they build what's called structural deficits. They are costs that you can't escape down the track. The Liberal government in New South Wales, as I told you recently, increased spending in 1 year in its budget by 26.5%. When we're being told that spending is one of the architects of inflation, a lot of money chasing not a lot of goods. And then there is productivity. How on earth do you achieve productivity, as I've said over and over again, when employers in every field of employment can't find workers? Tony Burke, a pretty sensible sort of fellow, is the Employment and Workplace Relations Minister. But even he has said the new government is determined to turn around the, quote, wage stagflation of the past 10 years. That has frightened the tripe out of many employers. Already, the lowest paid workers have received an increase of 5.2%. What happens if this leads to agitation in the workplace for across-the-board wage increases? Let's face it, with massive labour shortages, the employee most probably has never been in such a powerful bargaining position. There are 500,000 jobs out there that can't be filled. Also, 500,000 Australians unemployed. Has the work ethic become a major casualty of the pandemic? Well, Ines Willox is the Chief Executive of the National Employer Association, a very good one, if I might add, and very plugged in, the AI group. How do we get out of this mess? He joins us. Ines, thank you for your time. How bad is the problem? Productivity.
Well, productivity, Alan, has been flatlining now for well over a decade, and it's not getting any better. In fact, it's been the last government, before the last election, one of their last acts was to get the Productivity Commission to start a review into how to pick up productivity. There's a lot of ways you can do it, but one thing that we've made very clear, and you referred to the minimum wage decision, which came into effect on the 1st of July, 5.2%, was that would lead to across the board significant wage increases that many employers wouldn't be able to bear. And they especially can't bear it when there's no productivity offset to go with the wage increase. So what are we seeing now, Alan? We're seeing unions make wage claims of up to 12% in the case of Qantas's engineers. We're seeing construction wage claims at around 7 or 8%. 6 and 7 is becoming the norm across parts of the economy. And when there's no productivity offset at a time when the economy is still trying to crawl its way out of the pandemic, these are going to be costs that many businesses can't afford. And what many employers are now doing and talking about doing is sort of basically bypassing people, unfortunately, and investing in innovation and things that were like robotics and data systems and the like, which take people out of the equation. That's sort of where we're getting to because the cost of employment is high.
Ines, I've argued that a simple proposition, I'd like your thoughts on this. There's an army of workers out there, 400,000 of them, over the age of 65, who could return to the nation's workforce if we said to them, look, take a job, take your pay your taxes, but you can keep your pension. What would be wrong with that?
Absolutely nothing, Alan, absolutely nothing. And it's something we've been arguing with and we've put forward as well to governments. At the moment, the pension is a huge inhibitor, a huge barrier to people getting or staying in the workforce. Yeah. And we are crying out for skilled workers. It doesn't matter what their age are.
And reliable workers.
Yeah. Nobody's suggesting a 70-year-old should be running a jackhammer on a building site, but there are so many other jobs that they could fill. And at the moment, they're just not allowed to, or they're disincentivised from